It's time for the Talent Talk Radio Show, brought to you by People G2, a nationwide leader in background checks and employment screening solutions. People G2 gives their clients access to the best human capital management and due diligence tools available. They are dedicated to helping their clients with all of their people-related decisions. To learn more, go to www.peopleg2.com. Talent Talk centers on the topics of talent recruitment and management, leadership development, company culture, and employee engagement. These are all timely topics for CEOs, entrepreneurs, HR professionals, and business leaders. We hope that as you tune in to listen each week, whether to the live broadcast or to the podcast on iTunes or iHeartRadio, that you hear something you can take away that will help you grow and impact your career in a positive way. And now, here's the host of the Talent Talk Radio Show, the founder and CEO of People G2, Chris Dyer.
Welcome back to the Talent Talk Radio Show. The first half of our show we had in Andrew Hart. You can listen to his interview and this entire show. We'll have it on iTunes and iHeartRadio here pretty quick in the next week or two. But I'm really excited to have my next guest live in studio. We're going to bring in Sue Parks. She's the president and CEO of the Orange County United Way, a great organization. As a reminder, don't forget to tweet us your questions at @PeopleG2. Use that hashtag Talent Talk or follow the live tweeting we're doing there and insert your comments or questions as well. And you can also go to talenttalkradio.com anytime to listen to past shows. So, Sue, welcome to the show.
Chris, happy to be here.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself? You know, what's important for us to know about you as it relates to our conversation today. And, of course, you know, tell us all, for anyone who maybe doesn't know what the United Way does, maybe someone's been hiding under a rock. Let's at least make sure everyone, because we do have people from around the world listening, so let's make sure everyone understands what the United Way does as well.
Okay, great. Well, and not everybody understands what the United Way does because we have one of those brand names it's a big brand. Everybody's heard of it in many cases, but it's kind of vague, maybe what we do. And probably part of that is that every United Way is a separate 501c3 focused on their local community. So I'm here today to talk about Orange County United Way, Orange County, California United Way, and the work we're doing here. But the wonderful thing about the United Way networks is they're doing great local impact work in every community here in the country and around the globe. So I'm the CEO here in Orange County, and we are focused on education, income, health, and housing. We are all about human need here in Orange County and how we can help achieve the best goals for the next generation to live happy, healthy, self-sufficient lives. It's all good work. Yeah,
and so maybe we could talk a little bit about what are you seeing in Orange County right now? I mean, there's been a lot of changes the last few years. We've had, you know, for those that don't live in the area, we've had lots of different challenges and conversations and things happening in the news around our homeless population, around people who maybe weren't a part of the recovery, right? The recession hit and they were hit hard, but they weren't really there and a part of that recovery that a lot of other people were. So there's a lot of people out there in our community that need a lot of help. So what are you sort of seeing, and what are some of the things you guys are doing to be a part of that solution?
Well, I'm glad you brought the homelessness issue, Chris. I think that's on a lot of people's mind, and it doesn't matter what political part of the divide you're on. This is something we can all come together. Is how do we help people do the right thing in a humane and dignified way? And how the United Way got involved is we start a strategic planning process of what we want the next generation to experience when they come of age here in Orange County. And we started investing back in 2014 in rapid rehousing, which means when a family kind of falls in hard times, right? We don't want that child to leave school, so we start investing in rapid rehousing. How do we help a family maybe make up the rent so they can stay where they're at while they get trained to get a job that'll help them earn a wage that they can live and thrive in Orange County? But as we were doing that and focused on the 27,000 children living in housing insecure or homeless situations here in Orange County, it's just unbelievable.
Right.
We took a step back and said, this problem is getting worse and worse. So no matter what anybody's throwing at it, this is something that's getting worse. So we took a step back, and like a business, we said, let's get the data. Let's understand what's going on. We commissioned UCI, our wonderful research institute right here in Orange County, to do the definitive cost study on what is happening in Orange County. And so we have the facts, the facts in terms of it's costing Orange County $300 million to just manage a situation. And if we house the most vulnerable, the the people that are never going to be able to take care of themselves for whatever reason, a disability, a mental challenge, whatever it might be, we'd save $42 million. So anyway, we'd save money if we did the right thing. And then also the human stories, what we found is that the majority of people on the street have lived here over 10 years. They're not being just bussed in or whatever. So anyway, there are folks, we want to do what we can to help. In the United Way, brought together business, philanthropy, academia, everybody in a room and say, can we end this? Can we do something together, do something magical here? And we started United 10 Homelessness on February 28th of this year. Made a lot of progress since then.
And I notice there's a lot of different stories when we talk about this challenge that we have in our community. There are those people that are living right on the edge, and it sounds like you're addressing some of that, right, where you can help them maybe with a stopgap to keep them from going from being in a house, being in a home, or some sort of stable environment to suddenly being on the street, right? A very small investment, a small help can do that. There are those. We have people that maybe don't want the help, that do want to be on the street. There's a certain population of people for whatever reason, whether they don't want it or they're not capable of taking it. And then there's so many different buckets I notice in this community, right? And yet I notice people come with an opinion about the community of homeless people together, but it's really, there's like 50 stories probably, right? Independent stories of each other that we could have 50 independent opinions about. We could be talking about each of those different communities in different ways and helping them in different ways, as opposed to one thought or one opinion on it, which I don't know if you agree with that or not, or how you view that.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It's if you again thought it by a business, you look at it segments, right? Think of your audience, right? Not every one of your audience is looking at the same lens when they're coming to your company and looking at, what services they need at that point in time for their community, right, or their company. So there are different segments, and I'll say the one thing here in Orange County that we need is we need supportive housing. And when I say supportive housing, that's housing that comes with when somebody gets a housing voucher, say that they've gone through the system and they've been given a voucher, it comes with care. So it comes with the supportive care that they need to get back and stable in their life, whatever that might mean to them. And the issue is we don't have enough of those kind of housing built here or enough facilities for that. And that's really what this community needs to catch up on. And we are 3.2 million people in Orange County approximately, or probably more. And we're talking about a couple thousand people that really need our help. And that's why I know that we can do this when we start thinking about it in segments, and that people need different types of services that we can provide.
Right. Well, one big thing that I'm, hear a lot about is companies trying to do a lot of corporate responsibility campaigns and being interested in different ways that companies, especially whether it's locally or not, can help the community. So are there things that, companies here in Orange County can be doing maybe that they aren't already doing, or maybe they need to be doing more of, that they could specifically be helping United Way or other organizations that are looking to help the homeless community?
Yeah, we'd love to know. We have united10homelessness.org, and so if an organization is out there and listening and wants to get involved, there are really specific things. So, for example, at the end of January, the county is going to do a point-in-time count, and the point-in-time count is the HUD way that in every community the homeless get counted, and it's allowing us to understand really all those different segments, who's out there, how many, and what their needs are. And that's at the end of January, and there'll be opportunities to volunteer. There are simple things to get involved in that way, too. Maybe somebody wants to help somebody, and some people that go out and do the count, some people might want to volunteer to do that. Companies sometimes like to have their employees do volunteer things together as part of social responsibility. They can come to our site and learn more. There's obviously opportunities for somebody to maybe say, hey, we want to help the count. The people that are doing the count like to have, like, for example, a $5 bus pass. Like somebody needs help to get to an appointment, a doctor's appointment. Here's a bus pass. There are little things like that that a company can get involved in. So happy to help with that. There might be a clothing drive or other drives that a company might want to do that are simple things and people want to rally around, and we can certainly help facilitate that and make sure that the the goods that they collect are going to a place that will really make a difference for the people. And then we have companies that step up and want to do a lot more. Maybe they want to do employee giving campaigns. Maybe they want to do corporate grants and do something big that will help us really change the dynamics, and we can help with those as well. So it doesn't matter what level somebody wants to get involved in. We can help design a program that's meaningful for them and their people, and just to help them know that they're making
So those
a
can be
difference.
customized for different organizations, and they could come to United Way and, whether it's giving you $5 a week, or if it's a giant program, right? I mean, whatever it may be, it sounds like you guys can help them kind of help figure that out with their employees and what they want to do.
Right. Yes. We love to hear companies want to engage their employees, and it's the right thing to do. Obviously, and you know this from Talent Talk and everything you're doing with your firm, is that people want to work for companies that are socially responsible, that care, right? People want purpose. They want a social, they want to feel that they're making an impact. And so we listen to what works for that company. If somebody wants, we can even help them in a consulting with Impact Consulting to say, just let us come in and talk to your people, do some surveys, talk to some of the executives, pull together a plan for you of what social responsibility might look for your organization. And if you need to, we will help you implement it as well. We want to help companies live out their social responsibility.
And, this, I think it's important to maybe repeat, and you started to say this, that there's so many different ways in which we can help. It's not just handing a wad of money to someone who's standing on the side of a street, right? There are providing bus passes to people, and that's a big one. I don't think people realize how terrible our public transportation is here in Orange County. Almost everybody drives, and so if you don't drive, trying to get to a doctor's appointment, to a job interview, to anything else, it's fairly limited. For a lot of people. I mean, there are other services, but if I go to Europe or something, I mean, the amount of public transportation is like, I have 19 choices of what I want to do, and it's easy and it's clean and it's wonderful. And here I have maybe one choice, maybe a bus, route I could take somewhere. Technically, from where I live, there is no bus route. I have to walk like 5 miles to get the nearest bus stop. We don't have quite the same system here. So, but there are these things that we can do for people. Bus passes. We still kind of promote working wardrobes here. There are organizations that provide outfits for people so they can go to a job interview. And people don't realize people don't own a suit. They don't own a pair of clothes they need to get a job interview. So many things that we can do to help people that maybe aren't what they typically think of. Right?
Right. And so I love where you're going with this. And I think one of the things that I would love everybody to do is go to united2endhomelessness.org on this particular topic and learn how to do those little things. But as we do it collectively and we do it together, we can start measuring results. When things are done one-off, it's harder. And I think as a community, we want to end it together, right? Yeah. And so there's information, for example, in that point in time count and how and then the people that are actually doing the counting can have those bus passes. But you're right. Every step is a step in the right direction. And one thing, I want everybody to know the number 211, and that's the social services number. So if somebody needs help, that's the number somebody needs to call, and they need to get in the system of care in the county.
Right.
And that's a great starting point. It's an easy number to remember, 211.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, they don't even know it exists. And you can call that and help find someone a place to stay for the night or whatever service they may need that kind of falls under that category. Can you say that the website again? Because I want to make sure people know how to spell it. It was United, and then it was 2. Is it the number 2, or is it spelled out?
Thank you. It is spelled out. United2endhomelessness.org.
And is it which 2? Let's see.
It's a T-O.
T-O. Okay.
T-O.
I'm all of us ADD and bad spellers out there. I know who you are. I'm with you. So United 2, and then the last part.
End homelessness.
To end. Okay, there we go. So United to TO end homelessness.org. Okay, so now we've sufficiently helped you find your way there. Hopefully you can go there and help. What are some of the other things that you're thinking about for 2019? Obviously you're focused on that study's gonna the count's gonna happen. We're gonna get a better understanding of where the homeless population is and who needs to be serviced. But are there things specifically you're thinking about more internally for United Way of Orange County that you need to do to be more successful?
Well, I do. On the homelessness, I'll just add a couple of quick things. Just the fact that there are, if anybody is a landlord out there, there are ways to get involved in all sorts of different ways. So if you have ideas, we'd love to know about them. So I just want to just throw it out there. There are lots of ways that we can help with this issue here in Orange County. What I really want everybody to do is read that cost study. There's an executive version on our site. So but get the facts before you start assuming that you know all the things that are going on, because it'll really help educate everyone. And I'd say that goes with everything that we're doing. I mean, we live in a beautiful area. We live in Orange County, California. It doesn't get much better than this, but we have a lot of need. At United Way, for example, we're very focused on helping the students graduate from high school. We have almost cut the high school dropout rate in half over the last few years, and that's amazing. And the communities come together to do that. But there's still 2,000 students that drop out every year. So when I'm thinking about that, when I'm thinking about other things we're doing, is how do we help ensure that students understand the importance of staying in school, and we're keeping them engaged in all the right way and helping them bridge to where they go next. Maybe not everybody needs the 4-year degree, but we want to make sure that they get there if they need it, et cetera. So education is great. We have a lot of different programs that are going on, and really at the end of the day, education, income, health, and housing, they're also interrelated. So, I like to talk about this young woman named Madison because it just drives home that point to me, and this is what I think about almost every day, is how do we help more Madison? So Madison is the daughter of a single mom who was a veteran and disabled and lost her home. Couldn't get the disability checks in time and ended up living on the street. And here we want Madison to graduate from school and live a healthy life. And how's she going to do that? She doesn't have a home, right? She's sleeping on couches and tents and backyards of friends' families, etc. So through all of this, through one of our destination graduations, a teacher spotted Madison's potential, got her into some programs, assured her that he could find her and help her get on the path to college. In the meantime, her mom got the disability straightened up, so she was able to get a place to live. And all of that comes together in saying then Madison can focus on everything else in her life, right? But until she had a home over a house or a place to sleep that was her own, she couldn't focus on anything. But now she's in college. She's working on a degree in healthcare, and she's going to be able to be a superstar taking care of her mom someday.
I'm not sure that people always think about it in this terms, but when we lack psychological safety, when we lack this basic, do I know where I'm going to sleep tonight? Do I know what I'm going to eat? Do I know that I'm not going to be harmed? Right, these sort of basic things. We can look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and there's some variations of that, kind of since he's done that. But I kind of look at those three things. If you don't know those three things for sure, you really can't focus on anything else. And yet we kind of expect people to then be focused on, well, you should be getting a job, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Like, if you don't know where you're going to sleep tonight, that's number one, right? Or maybe number one is, what am I going to eat tonight? And then where am I going to sleep? And then am I going to be safe? Am I going to be sleeping somewhere I might be harmed or someone might try to hurt me? And so it sounds like, the work you guys are doing and the other groups in our community are doing to try to solve that initial problem. And I hope people understand that if we don't solve those initial three things for people, and probably other things, but if we don't solve some of those things for them, they can't ever get to the next level. They can't ever get to where we want them to be and independently thinking about their futures and what they might want to do. Is that correct? Or is there more we need to think about there?
I totally, at the end of the day, to get the rest of your life in order, you need to have relieve that stress of where you're going to eat. So we have a video on our site, and I think his name is Michael, and it's pretty powerful. But the fact is, he's talking about if he gets a shower once a month, that's a big deal. Think about that. A shower once a month is like a big deal. And so how can Michael get on his way to getting a good job, right? When he doesn't know if he's going to be able to shower, right? It's just, there's so much we can do. And this is why I love the companies that we partner with. We work with over 350 companies here in Orange County. And in most cases, the CEO, we talked about culture. You're very focused on corporate culture. This permeation of helping people live a better life is good for employees. It's why people stay at companies. It's good for morale. It's good for all those good reasons. But at the end of the day, it's also good for the future workforce, because if we help people like Madison's mom get straightened up, Madison's going to go on, be able to go to college, and she will be part of the next generation workforce, right? So there's many, many different benefits about taking social responsibility to a new level, and we love that. And the thing, why I, of course, love the United Way, and I was a business person for years. I was a volunteer and then got actively involved, and when the CEO role opened, I threw my hat in just because I love the organization more, because it appeals to my head and my heart, because we're focused on measurable outcomes. I can see the results, and we're measuring, and we're going to segment by segment what we need to do and what needs to get done. But every day there's a story about Madison that we help, or Michael that gets a shower, and that makes me extraordinarily happy. And we can help make that personal for a company. What's your cause? What do you want to focus on? Is it education? Is it around health of children? Is it around the homelessness issue? What will resonate with your group? And then we can help make a program that's so meaningful that it'll help them in many, many ways for years to come.
One thing that I learned many years ago that's been really important for me to remember is what we focus on grows. And so, you have continually brought up these positive stories of these people who have been able to find some resources, get what they need, and then, be able to be okay and get to a better point. And I hope that people can remember that there's so many people out there that are helped every year, that do have a positive outcome, that do end up in a better place and are not costing, their neighbors money, their community money. They're not, committing crimes and doing all these sort of negative things that we can think about. Because I'm sure there is a population. I'm sure there are stories that we can talk about that are negative, and there are people that maybe don't ever figure it out. But there's so many great stories of people that are getting this help, that are getting out of that cycle, right, and having a better life. And that kind of help we can provide people. If we focus, I think, on those positive stories, it will maybe translate into better outcomes and into a better community, right?
Absolutely. So if you is a glass half full or glass half empty, right? In terms of how we're looking at things, but there are amazing people out there and help. And I always come back to, like, if you didn't have family or something bad happen, everybody's had something happen. Everybody in listening has had somebody in their life that's been impacted by something negative, whether it's themselves or family member or whatever close, right? They got addicted to something. They lost their job and got in a downward cycle. They got sick and couldn't pay their bills, whatever it is. And sometimes family can come together, but sometimes family's not there, right? And I always think about it, what if I didn't have family? And there are people out there, or for whatever reason, their family can help them. We are Orange County. We are one community. We can all come together and help each other. I know we're better than this, than sometimes when we have people living on the street without help. And together, united, we can make such a difference. So I am encouraged every day by the positive stories, by companies coming forward, by individuals coming forward and saying, hey, I want to help. And the first thing is just being educated on the situation. That's why on the particular one in homelessness, it's great. We have a cost study. We have something that's independently done by UCI, so people can find out debunk some of the myths and find out the truth, and then hopefully join us.
Oh, it's great fodder for anyone who's worried about, if you're worried about the cost, if you're worried about the impact on our community, well, spend a little money over here, save a whole lot of money over there. That makes a lot of sense, and so it's great that they're doing that, and it's great that there's so many opportunities. And we sort of talked about the ways that the local corporate community can help. What about individuals? If you're the average person here in Orange County, maybe your company does something else, or maybe they don't do anything, but they as an individual want to volunteer or help, or what should they be thinking about doing, and how can they help you most?
So I'm going to give you two websites. So we have already gone through the United to TO and homelessness, and END, homelessness.org. As an individual, what we'd love for you to do is go on, download the cost study that I've mentioned, just because, again, there's a lot of really good information in there. And then sign a pledge that you want to be part of the solution. Let us know that you want to learn more. And we might need you to maybe go to a local city council meeting. We might need you just to come and lend your voice, right? Normally, I have to say, a lot of times the people that are negative on something, go and share their negativity, but we're talking about people that are positive and looking about how we help people. We need those positive people that know that there's a solution out there that want to be part of it, to have that equal voice and to go and just share that they are supportive of what their cities and the county are trying to do, which they all kind of do to end this issue. So lend us your voice, sign the pledge that you want to help, and there'll be a newsletter that you can learn different opportunities. We have homelessness 101 classes, so somebody can come and learn all about it, and those are a great way. In fact, I met a woman on a walk I was doing this weekend who's coming to one we're having at our office on December 11th, and she is like, I'm ready to go. I want to help San Clemente. Let me know what I need to do. So education's a great start. And then our regular site is UnitedWayOC.org. So UnitedWayOC.org. And on there, everybody could come and learn the rest of our work. There are opportunities to give. There's a calculator. You can see how your money is utilized, all the money we raise here. If that is something this time of year, it might be something on people's minds. It all stays here in Orange County. It goes to all the work that we're doing, and you'll also find other ways to get involved there too. But just the two different sites, but there's so much need, and there's so many good people. We'd love more to join.
Well, so we've mentioned all the sites a few times, so hopefully people are paying attention, wrote it down, or they can go back and listen to the podcast and hit rewind as many times as they need to. But hopefully they'll reach out and volunteer, contribute, get their companies involved, and be a part of the solution. And just really appreciate you being on the show, and hopefully we'll have you come back at some point and give us an update on all the great things you guys are doing.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you for letting me be here.
All right. Next week, my guests will include Wayne Trammell, the co-founder of Remote Leadership Institute, and Chu Chow, the co-founder of CMO of Perkbox. So until then, do what you love and show the world how talented you can be today.